Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel, and as you can tell, behind me is my vanity because today we're gonna be doing a kind of like cleanup, declutter, spring declutter, I think I'm gonna name this video. So recently, or maybe in the past year, I've been doing like slow declutters and showing you my entire collection. All of those videos will be linked below. I did do per category, so there's gonna be one for primer, foundation, you name it, it's there. So today I wanted to do a bit of a quick cleanup. I know there's a few more things that I would like to get rid of that since last year I left them after the declutters and I realized that maybe I don't really need them. Let's get right into it, but before we do, please be sure to subscribe. Just hit this little red subscribe button down below. Be also sure to hit the little bell so you get notified every time that I post. The first category I have is my first drawer, and this is going to be all my lipsticks, or the majority of my lipsticks, because a lot of my lipsticks do live on top of my vanity that is right here. So I'm gonna take a few things out. I wanna go, this is trash, I don't know why it's here. My newest brow freeze from Anastasia that I just opened a few weeks ago. So all of this is going to be my non-cruelty free higher end lipsticks, and underneath I have a ton of my NYX soft matte lip creams. I'm probably going to be decluttering a few of those, but first I've got here lip glosses. I'm not gonna go through every category. I do have a couple of things in mind that I know I want to get rid of, so I'm just gonna pull whatever I know I want to get rid of. For starters, I know I'm going to be getting rid of every single one of my lip butters from NYX. They are very old, pretty much between 6 to 8 years old, if not more. So I'm just going to toss them in the trash. They still look and smell good, but I think they're very old, so I'm just gonna toss them. I'm gonna also toss this out. This is also extremely old, probably also like around 6 to 8 years old. A lip product, especially in this kind of like more jelly consistency, should not be around for this long. Just gonna go in the trash. This I'm going to consider is a Revlon lipstick. I do have a couple of maybes, just trying to check it out. I think this NARS lipstick is still okay. This Milani lipstick is also very old, and to begin with, I never really cared for it much, so I'm just gonna toss it in the trash because again, it's pretty old. Another super old product I'm gonna toss in the trash is gonna be this one from Revlon in the shade Honey. I believe this was like a dupe for the Clinique Black Honey, but this is extremely old, probably again 6-8 years old. So anything that's like that old, I'm just going to toss because it's just extremely old, especially for lipstick. This is just little samples, they're not that old, so I'm gonna be keeping them. Lip gloss from NYX. Most of my NYX products are extremely old, so I'm just gonna toss it in the trash. Especially lip glosses should not be around for that long. I've got an empty box, and I think everything here is mostly okay. Here you can see a few of the NYX lipsticks. I know some of them are pretty empty, including this one, Antwerp. So I'll be getting rid of them essentially because they're also, I'm sounding like a broken record, they're very old, and I feel like because of the consistency that they have, I probably shouldn't be keeping them around this long. So especially also, I don't really use this kind of lip product a lot anymore. It's very rare that you'll catch me with this kind of this is very pretty. I'm not gonna get rid of a lot of them, or not all of them I mean, because a few of them are newer and they still seem okay. It's a matter more of like, I don't really use them, so why am I keeping as many as I'm keeping? Especially these darker colors, I don't know. Maybe I'll keep that for now. Orange is a shade that I don't really use as often. I feel like it makes my teeth look too yellow. All of my MAC lipsticks I just checked and they seem good. Again, this is lipsticks that I haven't bought in years at this point, almost 3 years. So they're very old, but they still look good, except with Plumful. You can see there is a bit of like a film on it, almost like fuzzy white. So I'm gonna be tossing this into the trash. For lipsticks, I think that's gonna be everything that I'm going to get rid of. I think everything else is still in pretty decent condition. I still need to check more, but for now this will be enough, especially the liquid lipsticks. I do have a category down here of liquid lipsticks, including KBDs, but I really like the shades, but I don't really gravitate towards liquid lipsticks anymore, so I'll check back maybe in a few months and then decide. We're now moving on to my concealer and primer drawer. Okay, so this is by Too Faced. I'm gonna toss it in the trash. It is pretty old and it smells funky at this point. This, I don't know why I'm keeping it for so long. It's been empty for a while. It's just a little sample or smaller sample size from Becca. I do have the full size of that, so no need to be keeping that. So now I think I just have mostly 5 primers at this point, and then a couple more up there. Another primer I forgot I had here is this one from Bobbi Brown, super old. I didn't quite finish it and it went kind of like bad, so I'm gonna toss this in the trash. Concealers, I'm gonna keep them all. There are a few that I know which ones I need to finish up, but they're nearly there, so once they're done, I'm just gonna toss them in the trash. So for now, this stays the way it was. Powders, also, I think all of them are still pretty decent, so I'm just gonna keep them. Onto the next drawer. This is going to be my bronzer and highlight. That's better. So the only thing that I'm gonna get rid of is going to be this big compact from Sephora. I've had it for a long time. I never grab it just because it's so big. And this shade, which is the one that I like, and this one, I kind of like get in other products, so I never end up using this. So for instance, this is kind of like an in-between from these two. So just because of that, I'm gonna get rid of it. It's a powder, so it doesn't go bad as easy. I might give it to one of my friends because, you know, just sanitizing this with alcohol, it should be good to go. Now let's move on to blushes. I think everything seems good with the exception of this NARS one, which I'm mostly getting rid of because the packaging is disgusting. It got all sticky and it's just a mess. I never grab it because honestly I'm disgusted to use it because it's so bad. This packaging from NARS has got to change. Not that I really care because I don't buy that brand anymore, but yeah, nasty thing. Another one that I'm gonna get rid of is gonna be this e.l.f. blush palette. I kept it on my last declutter thinking I was gonna use it. I never do. I just never do. The colors are pretty. It's probably gonna be one of those that I sanitize and then pass on to one of my friends. I have so many blushes that I don't really go for palettes like this. I do have a couple more back here, but I'm gonna keep them for now. But this one I know for sure I never really touch. Actually, among the same lines of very bad packaging, we've got this one from Becca. It's a smaller sample size. The same thing happened to the packaging. It's all sticky, and again, I don't grab it because it feels disgusting when I touch it. So I'm gonna toss it in the trash as well. We've made it to the last drawer, which I am gonna focus on my mascaras. I do have a couple that I already finished up, including this one by Tarte. I never really cared for it, but I did finish it up. This is the Lights Camera Lashes. It's just too natural for my liking. Also, I've got a smaller Lucita. She's wanting to see what we're doing. I am pretty much done with most of my mascaras, which is good because I've been trying to focus and finishing them up before buying any new ones. So I'm gonna get rid of 2 that are basically empty at this point. I'm working on finishing up a sample and this one from Hourglass. And these are probably the last ones. I actually have 2 samples from the Sephora. I'm pretty sure one of them is empty, which is this one. Beautiful. So now I'm down to a few not cruelty free that I've had for a long time, and then this Hourglass. Other than that, I think that's gonna be everything for this drawer. Everything in here I use. I do have this one also to get rid of. I am almost finished with it, but I do have a backup that I've already started using. I love this product and I use it every single day to do my brows. So I think I'm going to also get rid of this product, which is the Dip Brow by Anastasia. It is not dry actually, but I don't ever use it. I just fill in my brows with pencil by Charlotte Tilbury. The one that I always use is the Brow Lift, so I'm just gonna toss it in the trash because it's super old. I was checking on palettes to get rid of, which is a little bit hard for me because I love eyeshadow palettes, but the reality is that I don't really use them as much. So I was thinking about this one, which is actually one of my newest that I bought from ColourPop maybe a couple of years ago. I don't really use ColourPop a lot, so I was gonna keep it because, you know, it's green, it's different, I don't have anything similar. But then I literally opened it and I was looking at it, and then I noticed that the entire eyeshadow, this one right here, fell on my drawer, making a mess. I just vacuumed. So now I'm thinking about, like, why should I keep it if it just made a mess? So what I'm thinking about just depotting a couple of these shades just to keep probably these 3 and maybe this one. So I'll check out which ones I'm gonna keep, and then the rest I'm just gonna get rid of because I don't really use colorful eyeshadows. Honestly, lately I've been barely using any eyeshadow at all, but I especially do not gravitate for color. So this I'm going to depot and probably only keep like 4 of these ones. I have a couple more palettes from ColourPop that I really don't gravitate towards a lot, but this one is super new. I bought it very recently, I believe in that same time that I bought my the Mandalorian. The colors are very pretty, and again, I don't use a lot of color, but I think I can justify keeping this one because the most colorful ones are this on the side. So I'm gonna give it a try and then see how I feel. If I use it, you know, I'll keep it. In the next probably 6 months to 8, I'll declutter again and see what I do. This is probably another that I might be decluttering, but I do like a couple of these shades. Do I have similar? Of course. I don't really use these darker shades, but I think it's very pretty. Like, these colors are definitely shades that I gravitate towards. So if I don't depot it right now, I'm gonna keep it and then try to use it. If I don't, in the next 6 to 8 months, I'm just gonna get rid of it. It's just that I really don't use color. Same thing with this one. It's a very pretty colorful palette, and the shades I feel are not as intense as the other ones, so these are for me more wearable. So same boat, I'm going to give it probably 6 months until my next declutter. If I didn't use it, I'm gonna get rid of it. This is one that I probably should get rid of because it's extremely old, but it's a very, very old favorite of mine. It was, I think, my very first high-end palette, so I'm gonna keep it for now. So basically, I just looked at all my palettes and I'm gonna keep them all with the exception of that Mandalorian. I'm gonna see what I can do. Everything else I love my neutrals. So those 3 that I mentioned from ColourPop are my most colorful palettes. So here is a bit of an overlook of everything I decluttered. I know it's not a lot, it's not very significant, but for my kind of declutters, I just knew that I had to get rid of a lot of these lipsticks that are already been have been expired for a while. It's a lot of them. Most of them are going to be drugstore. I honestly don't buy as much drugstore anymore. Nothing wrong with drugstore, just I guess personal preference. I love my high-end stuff. So yeah, here's Rima saying hi. I am going to be getting rid of these 2 palettes just because they are pretty old. I was thinking about sanitizing them. Okay, hi. But they are very old. Like, probably around 8 to 10 years old. So I don't think it's worth it to sanitize them and pass them along. Although they're powders and powder really lasts a long time, it's just not hygienic anymore. So everything in here is gonna go to the trash. I'm thinking about doing like a series or something around that of the palettes that I don't use as much to see if I actually end up keeping them. So I might just film that whenever I'm gonna make a point to use the palettes that I know I probably don't want to use as much or I don't gravitate towards because they're either colorful or realistically because I don't use as many or as much eyeshadow anymore. I usually just grab whatever bronzer I'm wearing, put it on my crease, grab a highlighter or a very shiny eyeshadow and I put it on my lid, but that's mostly what I've been doing lately. Not that I did do a lot of complicated eyeshadow looks before, but yeah, I think it's time to try to use those palettes. If I don't, they're just gonna go because they are taking a lot of space in my drawer, and I don't want to be hoarding makeup anymore just because it goes bad. And I don't know, just eyeshadows, as much as I love to look at them, realistically, I don't use them as much. So yeah, that's gonna be everything for today. I hope you enjoyed this very minimal declutter. Again, all of my special, like, per category collection declutter is going to be linked down below, so check those out after this one. Thank you for watching. Like always, if you enjoyed it, please give it a big thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!